This is the Matt and Musz Show with Matt Hensler and Adam Muszynski. Welcome to the Matt and Musz Overtime number 2, ChillinG with CarlosDiZZle. Got to write that down so I don't forget it. So Matt is off tending to his new family and making up an anniversary date. So got my good buddy CarlosDiZZle here. What's up, dude?
Living the dream, one day at a time. How are you?
Wonderful. Tired, but I work too much and I have a year and a half old. So
you're not allowed to complain about being tired when the source of being tired is on a boat all day. It's not allowed.
Oh, I did catch a fish.
A fish?
Yeah, I had to send it back though. Didn't meet the 15-inch requirement or whatever it was.
I'll hold my jokes to myself.
Speaking of jokes, Matt Hensler just texted me a funny one. So, brand new dad. You won't get the dad joke till you do, but recruiter says, you should join the Army. And Octopus says, buddy, I'm Army enough as it is.
Dun.
Apparently he laughed so hard he woke up his newborn. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? So, for those who don't know, Charlie and I went to high school together. That was now 12 years ago we graduated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, lifelong friend, best man at my wedding. Good to have him here.
Whoop. Smooth.
You're on knocking over beers. I'll give you the floor for a few minutes. Tell us about yourself.
I'm going to start back in high school, too, because it's the easiest way to go from there to here.
Sounds good.
So, played all kinds of sports in high school. All-state, honorable mention senior year, junior year, all Catholic. Played baseball, coached
Humble
baseball.
brag.
When have you ever known me to be humble?
That's true. Just bragging.
So, that's my sport of choice, baseball. But we bowled together as well.
Yeah.
What else did I play? I played basketball for a couple seasons, football, soccer.
Baseball.
All in high school. Pretty much everything but lacrosse. And God knows I didn't golf. So I played everything in there and then coached after high school, baseball.
Nice.
I was on staff for some of the state championships that our alma mater won. So that was pretty sweet.
That is cool. That's a good accomplishment to have.
Yeah. Did not get the rings, but I was on staff for them.
Did anyone?
Yeah.
Oh.
One of the coaches I run it, well, it closed now, but the Hazel Park Raceway, I used to run into him all the time, and every time I saw him, he had the ring on.
That's funny.
So,
Dude, are you kind of jealous?
no. I mean, it was too expensive. I didn't want one. It was good.
So you
enough
could have got one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was coaching the freshman team, the first state championship, and then assisting with JV for the other two. So that was good times. We had people get drafted out of high school.
Nice.
So that was pretty sweet. One of them just got drafted again, Garrett ChillinG. He was the first person since me to wear the number 33 at volley, partially because I took all my 33 jerseys home with me so nobody could wear the number. So until they got new ones, nobody could wear them. But yeah. And then post-high school, continued to play sports, but I play old man sports now. I play volleyball,
Right.
and golf, and bowl.
Right.
If I can drink during it, I try to play that sport. So, yeah.
Isn't it funny how? Because I was the same way. I played a bunch of basketball growing up, but now it's like, no, I just want golf because I don't have to work that hard. I can drink, and it doesn't hurt when I'm done.
Golf can hurt when you're done, especially if
when
you're
you
drinking.
do it wrong.
That's the only way I know how to play golf is incorrectly. I don't know about you, but yeah, there's golf. I have a very fine line where I'm good, and then if I hit the line, I'm horrendously bad with alcohol. I can't hit the ball.
No,
I can't swing.
I get it. It's like that 3-beer buzz. That's like the perfect buzz, and you have to sustain it. So you have to keep drinking, but you have to make sure you don't drink too fast.
Yeah,
it'll put you over the edge.
But if it's a hot day, you're screwed.
Oh,
because
yeah.
You're gonna keep drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we just now currently I still play softball and volleyball and golf, and I don't bowl very much anymore.
I don't even remember last time I went.
I used to be on a league, and then I stopped going. Not stopped going. The league ended.
Right.
So,
no, I really like bowling. I've thought about joining leagues, but then it's a 32-week commitment. I can't commit to that.
And I agree completely. The other part of it is, I don't know what day of the week you were looking on, but ours is on a Saturday evening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's never at convenient times.
Right. So Saturday evening at 6 o'clock, we're done by 9:30. If you go out, you're dead tired after.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose not to do it, but I did sub a couple times. That was a good time.
Okay, so I gotta tell you a quick story. Matt just texted us into. The other day, I was talking to Melanie, and basically, like, you, Matt, and my buddy Jay are like my only friends. Let's get real, okay? And I was
less than a handful. Nice.
Right. Only 3. It's good. But I was telling her, I'm like, I think I have a type, and she was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Of who I pick out as my friends."
Oh, big guys with beards
and like baseball.
Oh.
Matt literally just texted in. It said, "Am I your replacement for Charlie? Baseball player, coach, bad golfer, your comic relief." Lots of similarities.
I like this guy. Maybe I have a twin.
It's so true. Your doppelganger. He's just a little taller.
Well, who isn't?
Yeah, that's true. It's not hard.
I think I'm getting shorter too.
You look good.
Thanks, man. Getting thinner this way doesn't help me get taller, though.
Yeah. Happens. It's all right, though. You look good.
I'm going to find Matt now.
What was that?
I'm going to go find Matt now so I can see him.
It's bad. Like, I don't know. It was funny because Melanie's like, you're kind of true, but Jay's tall, bald, and skinny. And like, yeah, but you were friends with his wife, and that's the only reason I met Jay. Like, still, a super cool dude. Like, love hanging out with him and everything. But as far as, like, friends that I go seek out, they're bigger baseball dudes with beards.
I like it. I like it a lot. Don't fight your feelings. That's all I got to say.
I am not. Trust me. So, baseball fan, obviously. What are your thoughts on Cabrera's injury?
I honestly think he's done. His career is over.
You think so?
The thing is, his injuries of late, the last 3-4 years of injuries, have been so significant. And I fought for him for a long time. For example, when he hurt his groin after the Triple Crown win, everyone's like, oh, he'll bounce back. Or maybe he'll bounce back. And I'm just like, a groin injury in baseball is a big deal. You can't stretch it first. You can't swing properly. It's going to take recovery time. Then he came back early. That didn't help. Now he's tearing his biceps, so he's not going to be able to ever throw the ball like he used to ever again.
Right.
And I don't recall if it was left or right biceps or not, but he might have a career as a DH, but he's not quick, so it's gonna be VMart 2.0, where in your prime you were above average, an all-star,
right?
Maybe some considered to be the best right-handed hitter ever, and you tank
for sure. Get closer to the mic.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'll tell you what to do. You like it? No, it's true because he is 35. He'll be 36 by the time the next season starts.
Right, and we already signed him for 10 years and $6 billion, it feels like.
For sure.
Which is a bad idea in and of itself, but that's why I think his career's over, is because he's going to move to DH and not be successful there. He might have 1 or 2 all-star years, but there's so many DHs now that are better, that are younger, so I think he's done. We'll see.
No, I like that comparison, though, to Victor, just because it is so true. I mean, he's 4 or 5 years older, but the last 3-4 years where Miggy's about to be is a bad contract, old. He's a little pop in the bat, but not what he once was.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think through like designated hitters in baseball, and historically how long their careers went. And Big Papi is the only one that comes to mind that had a successful DH career.
Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, it's the Victor Martinez's of the world who are bad contracts and are stuck, or super old, sign a cheap deal, and for a year or two, a little zoom off the bat, and you're good.
Yeah, Victor needs to go too, but he's a totally separate story also.
He's under contract for what, 2-3 more years? 2?
Too many. I don't know.
Maybe it's only, I don't know. Look that up.
I'm on it.
While he's looking that up, I want to go over something we're going to start asking all of our guests and I was nice enough to you to give you a warning about it.
I know most.
Okay. Well, I put Jake on the spot, and he fumbled through it, but it worked. But anyways, we're going to ask you your favorite athletes from the 4 major sports, 2 college sports, golf and Olympics. For those of you, for mine at least, just so it gives you some time to still think about them. MLB, I went Ken Griffey Jr., NBA, Chauncey Billups, NHL, Chris Chelios, NFL, Herman Moore, NCAA basketball, Mateen Cleaves, NCAA football, Antonio Brown, golf, Ricky Fowler, and Olympics, Michael Phelps. So, you ready?
What a cop-out answer Michael Phelps is.
I was thinking
I got a good answer for that one.
See, in the Olympics, I never okay, do you want me to say the 2018 men's Olympic curling team? Because I followed them.
I'm fine with that answer, actually.
Maybe I should
one
change
entity
that.
of a team. That's fine.
All
what
right.
about what was his name? Matt. I can't
What'd
remember
he
his
do?
last name. He's the bearded guy with tattoos, the curler, on the U.S. team.
Matt Hamilton.
Matt Hamilton. Thank you. Him and his sister did doubles.
Yeah.
He was a lot of people's favorite Olympian this past year.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest, I didn't even put winter into my head when you asked that question.
Really?
Yeah, I went straight to Summer Olympics.
That's funny. That's a weird way to look at. I don't know where I'm going with this, but it just proves that summer is more popular than the winter. The best thing I saw was a meme about that curling team. Was the one where the men's curling team looks like a bunch of dads that went on a week of vacation and never came back or something.
Yeah, it went and won gold, and then they
beer guts and all.
Did you hear the story about them on the way home?
No.
They were sitting coach, right?
Of course.
And they tried to upgrade themselves by claiming fame, and the stewardess said, "No, sit in your chair. We got to take off."
Good try. Hey, you got fame for only so long when you're in the Olympics. You got to go for everything you can get.
That's true. Maybe only one time.
There you go. All right.
So before I do MLB, I'm going to circle back. Victor is an unrestricted free agent next year at the age of 40, when we owe him $18 million this year.
So this is the last year he's under contract.
Correct. So if we re-sign him, somebody needs to go after Mr. Avila's job.
Yeah.
Which might happen anyway, to be honest, but that's okay. So starting with MLB, I did past, because I'm such a baseball fan. I did the past favorite and the current favorite. So
there you go.
Pete
for all sports?
No, just for baseball.
Okay.
Pete Rose, all-time favorite. He'll never be touched as far as hits are concerned. Put him in the MLB Hall of Fame. And then Bryce Harper, currently a guy who's got a big beard and is egotistical and likes to play a game. How do you not like the guy?
Oh, I know. I don't know how people don't like him.
Well,
Well, I guess I do, because
he's an arrogant,
Yeah, SOB.
Yeah, thank you. But I get why people don't like him, but I do. I like cocky people that can back it up. So.
That's just it. I like him too because, he's cocky. He knows he's cocky, but he's also good and does back it up.
Yep. NBA, I put LeBron down and then crossed it out because I feel like that's cheating. So I went with Shaq, which is almost just as cheap.
But, I wish Matt was here. He'd be reaming you right now saying LeBron.
We're going to have to come back with him here then, because I will argue with him about LeBron for an entire hour.
You do it. I'll just sit here and drink beer.
That sounds fantastic. NHL, Red Wings fans are going to hate me for this, but it is what it is. Joe Thornton.
Oh, no, we're done. See ya. Game over.
He's a
Why?
Big guy, beard, one team. He's on the Sharks. That's my other team.
No.
Sorry, man. If I had to pick a wing, I'd probably go Holmstrom.
Yeah.
I took up hockey this year. That's something I didn't mention in my intro.
How's it going?
I've improved. I found out that I really like to sit in front of the net and try to tip stuff in. Nice. But I also don't like wearing a cage, so I'm gonna get messed up one day. It's just bound to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good time.
When I played street hockey, I hated wearing cages.
Yeah, I don't. I started with one and took it off. I can't do it.
And you can't wear like a glass full face shield because then you just get way too hot.
They've actually gotten way better, but I still don't like it. It's distracting to me, so I just take it off.
Yeah.
Where are we at? NFL. I didn't write down an NFL one, so I'm going to circle back. NCAA basketball. Jalen Rose.
There you go.
Even though I'm a state boy, Jalen Rose was my favorite player to watch in college. Obviously, I was young at the time, but looking back, I can see all the again with the cockiness that can back it up. Jalen Rose is the definition of that. NCAA football, I went back to a homer answer with Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, that is a homer answer. So you think he's going to sign? Yeah.
I don't know. I can honestly see him retiring.
He wants he's 30, right? 29?
29, yep.
So if you go by the history of it, he only has 1 year left before the big decline. But
is he declining? Because he led the league in touches.
Oh, yeah.
So they use him enough. And they are adding more weapons in that system, too.
As the Steelers, you have 2 years to get a Super Bowl ring. You just got to put your money where your mouth is at this point.
Well, Big Ben, too, is done soon. So
yeah, that's just it. Put it all in. Go for broke. If it works, awesome, cool. It was worth it. If it doesn't, well, you gave it your best shot. Because if you let Le'Veon walk, you're done.
The other thing to think long-term about that division specifically is nobody's on the up and up. Maybe Cleveland, of all the 4 teams in that division. Baltimore's not doing anything. Cincy's not doing anything. The time to go for it is now. You're going to win the division, and then if you don't, you can sell Antonio Brown in the offseason if you want to, replace him with a young, speedy receiver and get pieces back and still be in the lead in the division. Exactly.
Yeah, I think they have to give Bell everything he wants and bite the bullet. I know, obviously, as a 29-year-old, they don't want to give him $14 million. I get it, but if you're serious about winning another Super Bowl, you got to do it.
Completely agree. Golf, I chose another cop-out answer, but whenever he's on TV, I watch, and that's Tiger.
Oh, everyone does. Even your fringe golf fan.
Yeah.
Who's your second favorite then?
It depends. Are we talking actual golf or like person? Because Beef is hilarious on Twitter, is hilarious on Facebook. His social media is on point.
He's technically a PGA golfer.
He
just doesn't qualify for anything.
Right. He is sponsored by Arby's.
Yeah.
Obviously Beef. So he gives away stuff all the time on behalf of Arby's, which is hilarious to me. In terms of golfing, Ricky maybe. Are you laughing at Brian?
Yeah. So Brian Kloss just writes it. Favorite president, Abe Lincoln. Why? Big beard. That has been your answer.
It's actually true. Not because of the big beard, but he is by far my favorite president of all time.
I don't have a favorite president. I don't really get political.
I don't either, but I have a minor in history, so I like him. And then favorite...
Okay, that's another thing. Matt Hesler's minor was history. What the hell?
What's his major? What's his degree?
Teaching.
Oh, communication.
You tried.
I'm in training. It's the same thing. Just training adults instead of kids.
He sells beer, so whatever.
Oh, fair enough. So I'm going to go back to NFL before I do my Olympian. NFL is a tough one because I don't know the history of a lot of older NFL players. I'm more of a current NFL kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you say Tom Brady, I'm shutting your mic off.
I would shut my own mic off. You would see me walk out on Facebook Live, just leave. No, NFL, it's got to be a receiver. And I want to say that T.O. has got to be up there for me. Another guy who just backs up his own smack talk. Granted, he went above and beyond sometimes, and I don't like that. But talent-wise, he was nasty. Randy Moss is the same way.
Mm-hmm. He was a
I
bad
maybe put
man.
Moss a little bit over Owens.
Do you think T.O.'s going to come back?
Come back to where? Earth? He's
No,
the
the NFL.
No. He just got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And he's not going to the ceremony. He's turned into a nutcase.
He always has been.
Yeah, but Randy Moss took the opposite route post-retirement. He is on network TV and killing it. So I still I would put Randy Moss, actually. Okay. I'm going to go on record with that. Now, Olympian, I did put 2 because I didn't know the team thing before we talked about this. So if we're going to talk team, I'm going to say Misty May Trainer and Kerry Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
Sand volleyball.
I think in Olympics you have to, though, because unless you're looking at your favorite athlete being a basketball player in the Olympics. But, yeah, if you're looking at the Olympics, I mean, it's just different.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess that I have nothing else.
If you're going to force me to pick one person, I'm going to take Brandy Chastain. She's the one that scored the penalty kick in overtime for the women's national team, took her shirt off. Brandy Chastain.
Cool.
So I think that's all of them.
Yeah, I think MLB. Yeah, cool. Awesome.
Pete Rose, probably my most controversial, I guess.
Matt Hansler, sand volleyball. This is my guy. This guy is great. Dude, this is bad.
What? What's wrong with sand volleyball?
Doppelgangers here. No, he's like saying his would probably be the same.
Oh, I was trying to find Matt earlier and I lost. I couldn't
That's
figure it
right. So at this point, what we're trying to do is cut off our Facebook live feed. That's all you guys over there. Come back, hopefully by the end of the week, if not early next week. But it'll be posted. We still got another 15, 20 minutes on. So get ready, come back, listen again. Episode 4, post on Tuesday. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks. All right, welcome back to Matt Muse Podcast Overtime ChillinG with CarlosDiZZle. So we're going to start off right now with our Beer of the Podcast. In front of us, we have Founder's Solid Gold. I'd like to crack it open. Oh, yeah. So Solid Gold, it's a premium lager. I know you're not the biggest craft beer nerd out there.
No, not at all.
So
I have had this, though.
Yeah, it's good. It's really basic. It's nothing fancy. 4.4% ABV, 20 IBUs. They really kind of went after the domestic beer space with it in draft 6-pack, 15-packs, and 24-packs. So it's the first craft 24-pack can out there in the market.
So they went after me.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to bring you into their side of things, and they priced everything right where they are. So, yeah, it's nothing fancy. It's good, solid beer, premium lager. That's all I got on it. Pretty basic. Cheers, brother.
Gracias por la cerveza. Cervezas, let's be honest. There's been more than one.
You're all right if you deep. Cool. So, yeah, that was Beer of the Podcast. Stat fact of the podcast. Matt's been screwing this one up. We started as the stat, then he started just blasting facts, then we changed to facts, and then it was a stat. So, stat/fact of the podcast. What you got?
Actually, I have 2. They're both golf related.
Cool.
Neither are stats. I guess they're facts, both of them.
That's fine.
One of them stems from a blunder on Phil Mickelson today. He putted a moving ball on its way off the green to prevent having to chip back up and potentially it rolling off again. The fact is, if you putt a moving ball, it is a 2-stroke penalty.
What was going through his mind?
I think it was a white flag. This tournament has been bananas at this course.
Well, the leader's 3 over right now through 3 rounds.
Yep, tied, I think, with 2 other people, if I'm not mistaken.
3. I think it's a 4-way tie.
Okay. So, but yeah, I think they're 3 over. So you're on point there, and that's in my opinion, that's a problem. But if they're fine with it, then so be it. Kind of lets you know that they're human,
right?
I mean,
it's cool to watch these professional golfers.
73 is human. 73 for 3 rounds is 3 over, right?
Right.
So
yeah,
I'll take that.
Oh, I'd take it too in a heartbeat. But no, the one guy on Thursday hit a 92.
Who was it today? Ricky.
Yeah.
Set a record for worst round. I think he shot an 87.
Yeah.
15 over.
Yeah.
Not that. That's me. I could do that. Not there.
Not there. No,
I'd shoot 640.
Oh yeah. We were talking about that the other day. Actually, like golfing, their tee boxes are already 100 yards further back than I play the whites just because hey, I want to have fun. I want to do good, feel good about myself. And then the challenges of that course is just insane. It's not my $6 course I go and walk,
Yeah.
So
I do find it difficult watching though because I like to see people shoot under par.
Yeah.
And throw darts and they're not doing it there. I haven't watched that much of this tournament, a little bit here and there, but I'd be lying if I said that contributed to it. They're not shooting the lights out, right? So right. I did see one where the par 5 was 672 yards.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, it would take me 6 shots to even get to the green.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was into the fan, too. 13-mile-an-hour wind coming to their face, so they were in trouble.
I guess I'm kind of the same way. Like, it's cool to see every once in a while when a golfer does bad, but you still want to see, like, you hope one golfer does bad, and you look at everyone else and they're 7, 8, 9 under par.
I like seeing people miss. Like, there was an Ernie Els clip from a couple years back where he missed 3 or 4 putts that were inside of 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah,
like he lipped out, and I was like, oh, they do miss.
Right, right.
That stuff's fun, but he still shot a 75 or something.
Right, exactly.
I don't want to. It's not as fun to watch Dustin Johnson, who hits the ball 17 miles off the tee, take 4 shots to get to a par 4 because of the wind and because of the course. It's not fun for me.
No, I agree, because the reason we watch them is to be awed by how good they are. If I want to go watch a hack golf, you can come to my Thursday night league. Like, we got guys shooting 18 over par every day. But yeah, I totally agree with that. So,
and the other golf related one I had was, you might know this because you're in a league, but did you know that if you're off the green and somebody else is on the green, it doesn't matter as far as who's technically away. It's still by distance.
Yes.
So if I'm in the rough closer to the pin, the person on the green is still away.
Yep.
A lot of people think that if you're on the green, it defaults back to the person who's on the fringe of the rough.
No, it doesn't.
Not the case.
I guess we just played ready golf, so it's basically if you're ready, you go. But I do think overall, I'm trying to think what holes it would happen on, but most of the time we wait for everyone on the dance floor because then we just pull the stick and it's just easier to work it that way. But again, we're beer league golf, beer cart girls and beer, basically. Say beer one more time.
Two of my favorite things.
All right, there you go. Winning. So saw this continuing on, I guess, the facts. This the other day from ESPN. So they do the ESPYs every year, and they're giving. They always give out Coach of the Year, and this year Coach of the Year goes to Aaron Face, Scott Beagle, and Chris Hickson. And I guarantee you there are very few people who know those names, but they're all coaches from the Stoneman Douglas High School who actually sacrificed their lives to save students in the Valentine's Day shooting. I saw this. I'm a weak individual, very emotional when it comes to these kind of things.
Yeah.
I got a little tear in my eye for it. It's really cool that you see ESPN do something like this and to honor those coaches for what they sacrificed to help save some other students.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ESPYs does a really good job at tugging at your heartstrings.
Oh, for sure.
They've always done that.
They did that with right after 9/11. It was Flight 93. Those because they're the 4 guys that went to fight the hijackers. They were all college athletes somehow. I think most of them were lacrosse players, but so they brought up actually their wives and gave them. I can't remember what award it was. It was like Courage Award or something.
The Arthur Ashe Award for Courage.
Yeah,
that's the one that. That's the one that usually gets people. That's the one that Stuart Scott got. That,
exactly.
I'm blanking on the Tennessee coach, the female that just passed away. Pat Summit.
Yeah.
So that's the one that usually gets people is that award. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage.
Yeah, for sure. No, they do a good job with that. It's cool to see how sports brings the world together from an athletic standpoint as well as just a human standpoint, and being able to see how sports brings everyone together. And it's not at this point. This doesn't mean anything about sports. Like ESPN doing this, it's just good. The fact they're all coaches, it's just something they had in common.
Right.
I mean, if they're a teacher, they're still being obviously recognized for what they did, but not to the impact. And this is why it gives sports and people involved with sports another avenue to do good, and then it helps, I guess, other people realize, hey, they are doing good, and it's not just about going out on the field and beating the other team. A lot of athletes, as you know, you're an athlete.
Kind of.
Yeah, we pretend. It's bigger than sports, and that's literally the power of sports. It's cool.
Yeah, and actually I just found out that it's the Best Coach Award, so it's not the Arthur Ashe Award. They're getting the Best Coach Award.
Okay.
And usually they, I guess, give it to people for their on-the-field work, not so much their off-the-field work. So that's pretty cool that they're changing that up a little bit too, kind of including more.
I think because every sport has a Coach of the Year award, and the ESPYs is just the ESPN awards. You
Yeah,
know?
sure.
So I think they have the ability to be like, hey, we want to honor people for what they do on and off the field, rather than someone just having a good season.
Right. They have enough awards anyway, to be honest, for on the field talent that
exactly.
Why not throw another one to
exactly throw a couple out there and go from there. So
July 18th, ESPYs.
It's 4 days after my birthday.
Nice.
I'm excited. I like the ESPYs. Always have. I don't know why.
I like usually they pick a good host. Peyton did a good job. John Cena did a good job.
Yes.
So usually they pick a pretty good host for the ESPYs.
Okay, so this isn't on the list, but we're going to do it anyways. Since you're a LeBron fan.
I was waiting for this, actually.
Where's he going? We just talked about it in our last podcast, and we go through our entire... It's on my notes, too. Where's LeBron going to sign? Do we care? No. So,
we do care, first of all, because it throws a wrench in the entire NBA. I have kind of an off-the-wall answer that I've been saying for months, and people think I'm crazy, but I think it's going to happen.
Explain yourself.
I think he's going to Philadelphia. And the reason I think he's going there is because him and Embiid already have a relationship. Mm-hmm. He's going to be there for a while. They have another draft pick. They have Fultz. They have Simmons. And the only argument I've heard against it is, Ben Simmons and LeBron both need the ball in their hand in order to be successful. No, not the case. LeBron's quite the opposite. Mm-hmm. He will always defer to the better shot. That's one of his biggest weaknesses in some people's eyes, is he doesn't take control of the game like Kobe, like Jordan. He lets the game come to him. I think that's a strength. Some people think that's a weakness. That's to be debated later. But if Simmons is open, get him the ball. If LeBron's open, get him the ball. And then you have an inside presence, kind of like what they had in Miami with Bosh. Mm-hmm. I think Embiid's a little better than Bosh because he's physically bigger.
Yes.
But they're young. They have J.J. Redick there for another year, I believe. I think he's a restricted free agent, but I think if LeBron comes, they'll re-sign him.
Yeah.
So not only that, but it keeps him in the East where he can cakewalk to the finals every year. I shouldn't say cakewalk with Boston being the way they are, but I still think that with that team that they beat Boston.
Yeah, and it's more of a toss-up in the East, too. Like, you go to the West, you know you're not getting past Golden State unless you're bringing in 5 all-stars, like what they have as their starting lineup.
I mean, they would be close with Houston, honestly, because now keep in mind, Chris Paul's an unrestricted free agent, too, so if he leaves,
he's old.
And not only that, but he's already verbally said that he's not accepting any less than a max contract.
Right.
So he might not be in Houston, but let's pretend he is for the sake of argument. Now Houston's got Harden, Paul, Ariza, LeBron. That's a good squad. It's real good. It's not Golden State good, but
no.
LeBron makes up for a little bit of that.
Wherever you go to the East, you go to the West, you're going to lose to Golden State at the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
For at least the next 2.
And the only way that doesn't happen is if Klay Thompson leaves. And I'm of the belief that he will leave, even though he's gone on record saying that he'd accept less money to be on a championship team. I think he'll ultimately get paid by somebody, and he'll see dollar signs and he'll walk. He's got his rings. He's good.
Yeah, you start throwing those millions and millions around. I guess it's comparative to what can Golden State actually offer him. Like, how close is that offer going to be? Because you know he's going to get a max deal from someone.
Right. And I think Golden State's, they're on a ticking time bomb unless they have 4 or 5 guys that are completely selfless, which I don't think is true.
No.
Because Durant, Curry, Draymond are all going to require big contracts, and eventually they're not going to be able to pay them.
Right.
So pick 2, pick 3, and I think Klay's odd man out.
Mm-hmm.
But Curry and Durant.
I think Klay is, and I also think Draymond is at the end of the day.
Well, Draymond said him and LeBron obviously don't get along. There was a lot of talk for a minute about LeBron meeting with Golden State, which, first of all, the league wouldn't allow it. No. I don't know if you remember back to the
Chris Paul trade.
Yeah. That was blocked by the NBA. Yep. Same thing would happen if LeBron goes to Golden State.
Oh, for sure.
You can't just let them literally walk. They might not lose a game if he goes there.
For sure. It's already tough for me to watch. It's going to be even worse if that would happen.
Exactly. So, but the reason I bring that up is because Draymond said on the record that he would not be in Golden State if they signed LeBron.
Yeah.
He would leave. Which is kind of cool, but...
I think he's eventually going to leave just because you look at your cap number eventually. you keep bringing in other talent, you have to recycle that contract for two or three, I guess, other players who can come in and step in. Yeah, maybe it's not as impactful, one of those guys as impactful as Draymond, but I think the group of those players would be.
Yeah, so I guess the second part of that question is, do we care? Yeah, because it throws a whole wrench into everything in the NBA. If he stays in the East, he's going to cakewalk to the finals. Toronto's not good enough, even though they were 59-23 last year. They lost Dwayne Casey. He got fired. Coach of the year, they got canned.
Right.
We'll take him in Detroit. Thank you very much. But they're going to cakewalk past Toronto. Boston, it depends if they're healthy. I'm also of the belief that either Kyrie or Hayward is going to be not in Boston by the time this season opens next year.
Oh, I completely agree. Boston likes to turn over that roster. 2 years ago, the 15 guys they had on it the following year, which was this current season, only 2 guys were under contract from the previous year. So they like to turn stuff over, which...
Not Horford.
Yeah, it was Horford and what's his name? It's a little short dude, number 36.
I don't know.
It's bugging me now.
I have Boston's lineup up, or I'm about to.
Marcus Smart.
Oh, Marcus Smart.
I came to me before I even typed it in.
Marcus Smart, don't like him at all.
No one likes him.
Well, he went to Oklahoma State and got in a fight with a fan during a game. I don't know if you remember that. He went under the basket, courtside, and the fan said something, and he pushed the fan and got into it with him. And I was like, this dude's a hothead. Ever since then, I haven't liked him. But the rest of the teams in the East are a joke as far as getting to the finals. Toronto, Boston, Philly, Cleveland.
And then the only reason Cleveland is if LeBron's there. Sure. If LeBron's gone, they have no shot.
Yep. Love is disappointing, to say the least, in Cleveland.
Tristan Thompson's overpaid.
Because of LeBron's influence.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people think he put together that team. I'm not of that belief necessarily, but...
I think he took care of his friends, though.
Yeah, Tristan was in that group.
Yeah.
But Tristan Thompson's good. He's just not that good.
He's not max contract good.
Exactly. So I think he goes to Philly.
Okay. We'll see what happens. I guess no one knows when, so I'm assuming mid-July, but that's when...
I'm curious on how he's going to do this, though.
I just see him doing it like he did last time. Just made a little letter through Sports Illustrated or something. I think he's learned enough about the decision not to do that.
Yeah,
but
that's true. I have my own opinion about that, but that's okay.
What is that?
The decision is... We're taking a hard turn now. The decision was an interesting thing because it was a publicity stunt to raise money, which he did.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, but people viewed that as bad, right? So it is what it is. The other thing is, I defy you to name a bigger free agent in your lifetime ever, unrestricted free agent.
Because you can't.
What happened is, and think of back to when Gretzky got traded from the Oilers to L.A., the year of his contract expiring, if you're not going to sign a long-term deal, we're going to deal you because there's no way we can let you walk away scot-free to the league.
Right.
We're going to get something back. So that's what they did, traded him to L.A. So if you think about it, there was no free agent in our lifetime ever as big as LeBron James. Some people say Shaq when he went to L.A. I don't really think so. No. LeBron was way above where Shaq was at that point. So as a 24-year-old, I think he was 24 at the time of the decision, 24-year-old.
24, 25.
And you have these friends that are in Miami, which is arguably one of the best cities on earth.
Especially for a 24-year-old billionaire.
Right. So how are you going to fault the guy for not only creating the super team, quote unquote, but doing this decision thing? He didn't know how to handle it. Nobody knew how to handle the free agency of that kind of caliber.
Yeah, no, he did not know the kickback that was going to get. Because if he does that and says, I'm going to stay in Cleveland, then we're talking about how great thing that was for the Boys and Girls Club and all this other stuff. The only reason people are upset is because he left.
Yeah.
That's the kickback.
Still handled it poorly. I understand that, but I give him a little more slack than most. And admittingly, it is because I'm a huge fan.
Right. Understandable. Cool, brother.
Yeah, he's done in Cleveland later. The only reason he would ever stay in Cleveland is because of his family.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's It's not the team. It's not the ownership. It's not the management. It is just if.
Well, he does not get along with Dan Gilbert.
Oh, right. No, it is literally if his mom and his wife say, "Hey, we want to stay in Cleveland," then he'll stay. Otherwise, I think he's out. I don't know if I think Philly's necessarily the choice, but who knows? He did go back to Cleveland, so.
What a terrible move that was. Although he won a championship when he came back,
Yeah.
so
Cleveland at this point, Cleveland's like we're not gonna beat Golden State. We got our championship ring. Whatever.
Have you ever been to Cleveland?
Nope. No reason to go.
Yeah, you'd want to leave too. That's all I'm gonna say.
On that note, you can reach us by email, mattmuse@gmail.com. Call or text us, 989-372-1391. Again, 989-372-1391. Or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at @Matt_Muse. It's been a pleasure, my friend.
Thanks for having me, man. Fun times.
We'll have to do it again, and we'll have to get your doppelganger back.
Yeah, when LeBron announces he is going to Philly, I'll come up the next weekend.
Sounds good. We'll make it happen.
It'll be pretty easy.
Thanks, brother. See ya.